In this little video, I'm going to try and explain what the changes are to this year's Wikimania program design, and in particular what that will mean for the concept of leaders, what kind of work that would require and the steps that we'll be going through in the lead up to the event itself. I'm Liam Wyatt, user Wikilama, and I'm the volunteer program coordinator for this year's Wikimania. Welcome to my lovely local park here in Bologna, where I live. So the main change this year that people will see is the concept of spaces. This is a physical room within the conference, perhaps synonymous to symposia or maybe a mini conference or at other kinds of events. The idea is that we don't have this year a single generic call for presentations that hundreds of submissions come in and a single program committee then ranks and selects some of those and then groups them into a program on the day. Instead, we're asking community volunteer leaders to submit proposals on a particular topic area, and then they will get to convene and curate a room for a day or two on that topic area. Now, the reason why we're doing this year is to increase the number of people who have a sense of ownership and some authority in the program design, to have a larger number of stakeholders helping to build Wikimania, and to increase the diversity of voices in that decision-making process and the diversity of people and concepts being expressed during the conference itself. Hopefully it also increases the number of people in the Wikimedia movement who have experience in event coordination and a chance to be leaders at one of our own major events. Each space is on a particular topic area and might last for a half day or a full day or 2 days, and will be filled with content that is selected by the leaders in a variety of ways. They can be commissioning, the leaders know there's a particular topic they want discussed, and they're asking the community to propose who would be good people to lead that discussion or give that workshop or make that presentation. There will be an open call for submissions, so similar to what we have normally at Wikimania, but with specific to those topic areas. So if we have 10 spaces, for example, then there will be a moment when we open to the community and say, please submit presentations along these topic areas, these 10 spaces, and the leaders for each of the spaces will select which presentations and submissions they think are the best. This is a devolution of the control of who gets to present at Wikimania, but also making it more clear what the Wikimania leaders are asking for, rather than just being an open submission, talk about anything. Finally, there will be the chance for the leaders to invite speakers or external organizations to come in and give particular presentations that they think are particularly important. Now, so along with these three methods of selecting content, the open call for presentations and invited speakers and a more of a commissioning approach, a request for submissions based on particular needs, there's also the idea that we have in the main hall, the Aula Magna, this beautiful concert hall that is the University of Stockholm's major presentation venue, that we'll be using as a kind of best of track. So individual spaces can nominate presentations as kind of like their space's keynote presentation to go into that hall and present in that major space. So that's a lot of theory. What does that mean in practice for the leaders of these spaces? So the first step is obviously making a submission using the form we provided to propose a space. Once the core team have selected the set of topic areas we want to have discussed at Wikimania, we will work with those leadership teams of all the spaces to help build a homepage for each one on the conference wiki. This will be the central point where all of the content relating to each space will live. That'll include past presentations from other Wikimanias or related reading, maybe some other videos across the internet that have been uploaded about that topic area. And it will also include a list of potential things that the leaders of that space really want to have discussed and would like some community interaction on. And it will also have then a space for conversation where the community can say, you might want to talk about this as well, or I think you should do this kind of activity. The main task is to try and build some interaction around this topic area as we lead up to Wikimania. So then, once we have our set of spaces and the leaders, and each one has its space, has place on the conference wiki, the collection of the leaders, collectively, we form the program committee. At that point, there will be the call for presentations, the more open submission process that the wider community will be more familiar with for Wikimania, but it will not be a general call for ideas. It will be much more specific to what are the needs being requested by the leaders of each space. Now, the program committee, so all the leaders and myself and the Wikimedia Sweden staff, will help ensure that the scheduling of all the content, all the different workshops and presentations doesn't conflict with each other. Obviously, I expect there'll be several presentations that will have interest to two groups simultaneously, and so we'll try and work together to make sure that material is not conflicting but complementary. And the hope is that by the end of the conference we'll have a lot of practical lessons learned, workshops, training, and future-oriented thinking about how to help Wikimedia and the free knowledge movement address the global goals. So leaders at this conference design are obviously quite important, and I'm really looking forward to working with the group. The practical activities that are required are to help set up the page on the wiki, to build a conversation around that page, to help commission and call for papers and submissions based on the topic area, the space topic that you've suggested, to select from those submissions that come in, and then to build a program in collaboration with the community of interest around that topic for the period of time which is allocated to your topic area. The Wikimania core team will liaise and work with all the groups together to make sure that is a coherent and cohesive conference design, one that has a lot more devolution of power and diversity of presentation, and is more focused on practical lessons, workshops, discussions that take advantage of us being physically together in a conference environment. So I hope that helps describe the nature of the space and leader concepts for Wikimania this year, and I hope that's clarified things and has inspired you to be involved in Wikimania. Thank you.